Hey folks, over 2 years ago, we had a appeals court case where Judge Bright gave immunity to our Attorney General for what this guy's talking about.
That is talking to a tabulation server and reporting the votes back to China. And that was traced by a Microsoft engineer. And he brought it to our attention yesterday. So that's being monitored. We already knew that there was a huge overseas problem. And it's not just social media. Your votes in 29 different states, your votes.
29 states, 20 of which Connecticut hacked. And I gave the data to Rob Sampson twice, who's chair of the GOP Elections Commission. So these bastards know exactly what they're doing. And so does DiPatima, Alvord, all the 6 appellate court judges who are sued. I did sue them. The clerk in the Stanford Superior Court is interfering with the case, and so is the marshal. So, we're getting to the point where if you look everywhere you turn, here's a list of U.S. senators, Connecticut, Richard Blumenthal, that received bribes from Maduro. Blumenthal and Murphy, both. I ran against them both. And guess what? All the votes are missing. All. Why? Because our Secretary of State committed treason. Mark Kohler, that is. Attorney. He was an Assistant Attorney General under Blumenthal. Now the case is being heard by Judge Oliver, who was Assistant Attorney General under Blumenthal as Attorney General. So the Attorney General's office of Connecticut is behind the bribery, the current payments from QATAR to Chris Murphy, Murphy's campaign. He has a PAC. The leader of the PAC, if you look on my phone, is an Al Jazeera newscaster. So if you have a question about a contribution made to Chris Murphy, you have to call Al Jazeera. Holy moly. It just goes on and on from there. If you look at my Twitter page, if you follow me on Twitter, people are pretty much overwhelmed and have no comment, or they're shadow banned. Okay. Here we go. Here's an excellent video. The post is unavailable. Shadow banned again. Retry. Twitter has failed us. And a guy keeps contacting me claiming to be Elon Musk, and his son keeps claiming to be contacting me. Well, you know what? I tried to share an article from Iran today. It's right here. Let me share it again. Share. Twitter. It hasn't gone through. Tensions, military tension. Go to Twitter over here. Twitter over there gets away with more. Twitter over here, they're totally locking me down. You should look at this. Play this entirely.
War math that should command attention. The United States has now deployed more military force to the Middle East than during 3 major wars combined. Aircraft are moving.
We have more aircraft watching Iran now than 3 wars put together.
Fast. We begin with the scale and the signal.
Iran's foreign minister warns Trump, "We will fire back." Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says Iran is prepared to respond with overwhelming force if it comes under attack again. In his words, our powerful armed forces have no qualms about firing back with everything we have if we come under renewed attack. Araghchi stressed that this was not a threat, but what he described as a realistic assessment of Iran's military posture. Araghchi said Iran showed restraint earlier this year, but warned that restraint should not be mistaken for weakness. According to him, any future conflict with the United States would not be limited or short-lived.
This is a result of Chris Murphy being chair of Foreign Relations. After Menendez from New Jersey got caught taking gold, Qatar now supports Chris Murphy's PAC. I can show you all the information you need to know. The guy's a communist, progressive piece of garbage, and met with Iran secretively in Germany during the last Trump administration. So what's happening here is Connecticut is responsible for the demise of the world. Connecticut's DHS supervision and oversight by the U.S. Senate has caused Venezuela, has caused our situation in Ukraine. Murphy's and Blumenthal's lobbyist is Leiter, who's Hunter Biden's lobbyist for Burisma, folks. Murphy and Blumenthal receive payments from Ukraine. And according to people who work for the FBI in Connecticut, I am told there have been 9 people fired. Is that true? Is that true? Why are they sending people with clearance to my house? Is that true? Why is the FBI meeting at 1000 Lafayette Street with Blumenthal? Why is that? Why isn't the marshal serving them with the lawsuit that I filed? How come Vanessa Avery resigned after she was served? Vanessa Avery was our U.S. attorney for the state of Connecticut. I think she left in 2022. She has recently replaced, and they're threatening me again. It will not stand for threats from the U.S. attorney, folks. Not at all. Okay? I have a case. It's compelling. The attorney general's involved. The state's attorney's involved. The DAs are involved. The state's attorney has a duty to protect us from our DAs who falsify evidence, falsely arrest you, steal your exculpatory evidence. And there is substantial evidence being stolen by O'Donovan Murphy, the head marshal of the state of Connecticut. Now, we have no sheriffs in Connecticut. I can't have O'Donovan Murphy arrested. I can't have Judge White arrested. I can't have all these judges arrested. And the evidence against Judge Reed is pretty compelling. The evidence against Carl Cicchetti is compelling. The evidence against Justice Mullins is compelling. Just as compelling as the statements that these guys are making, which is frightening. It's frightening. So, Cordella needs to respond today, not tomorrow, not next week. The chief court administrator, Anderson, needs to be arrested today, not tomorrow, not next week, now. 8:55 a.m. on 1/23/26. These things have to occur, folks. We are in a very poor position. It's a lose-lose position. And Minnesota is child's play. When it comes to Connecticut's corruption, just for example, one hospital in the state of Connecticut in 2021 was accused of $6.3 billion in Medicaid fraud. What did Heather Summers do? What did my state rep do with respect to 5G and 6G with the known server problem with Seidel, Tyler Technologies? I keep mentioning these names. I'm going to drive to Fairfield today and serve one of the parties who is directly responsible for election fraud nationwide. And if the case isn't heard by Judge Clark or dismissed immediately, I'll be surprised. So what am I saying? I'm not going to say much more. Not today. But there are people in Connecticut saying things that are un-American. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. There's an event on Sunday, but it looks like we're going to have the mother of all snowstorms, and it will be canceled. We had about 5 congressional candidates lined up and a potential governor to speak. We'll see. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.